Cancer. This is your January 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. It's Romy here. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune in and join me. We are going to open up with the energy of the Fool for you as we enter into this first month of the year. And I think you're going to be more open-minded than you've ever been as you feel into this new energy. There's a feeling of you moving from struggle to strength. And of course, as we embark on new pathways, there's a pause and a moment to reset and regroup, especially in the first part of the month as we're still in Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde. But come mid-month, when these planets station direct and we have moved past your full moon, there's going to be something really energized about your energy and how you're feeling into what comes next. Now, you're in a beautiful state of surrender here, even though you're right on the precipice of this change and there's perhaps a level of uncertainty, some feelings of really not knowing enough or wishing that you had more certainty in regards to a certain area of your life. But at the same time, this is the part of the story where you really trust yourself, Cancer. Now, we're in Capricorn energy, which means we are illuminating your 7th house. So there's a real focus around relationships. And certainly you're going to be experiencing in the first part of the month people showing up that have helped you before and new connections coming in that are supposed to be a part of your journey for where you're headed. There'll also be some important conversations that are going to be taking place and perhaps the opportunity to take something to a new level or to strike out on your own as you really review some of the important partnerships and people that have been in your life and part of your story up to this point. Now, the full moon in your sign is coming in on the 6th of the month. And it's powerful, it's going to give you the opportunity to really witness something coming to fruition that you've been working on, thinking about since June, July of 2022. And there's an invitation to surrender in around this energy, okay? There is an opposition to Mercury. So there's a little bit of a sharpness and somewhat of an insensitivity that's around. And you may even feel like somebody backs you into a corner with the conversation or negotiations or discussions that might be taking place around that time. Remember that 7th house energy often mirrors unresolved parts of ourselves. And so there's always a little bit of a insight around some of the shadow work that we can take on as we look at what that full moon is going to be illuminating for you. But at the same time, there's something deeply healing. Hanged Man energy, of course, gives us the opportunity to sacrifice and to let go, and also through that process to come to terms or to see something from an entirely different perspective. I think around this time there's also this feeling of, how do I show up in this ever-changing world? And, we begin by healing the world and what's going on through the healing of ourselves. And, there's 2 major arcana energies coming out straight away for January. So there's a real spiritual, universal, fated intervention, if you like, in terms of where your path is leading and what's going to be unfolding in this first part of the month that we want you to pay attention to, because it's not just about what's happening for you individually on your pathway, it's how that shift and change that you're embracing and the adjustments and edits you're making in your life are truly affecting and positively impacting the collective as a whole. So Mars is going to shift direct, Cancer, on the 12th of the month, same day that the asteroid goddess Juno moves into Aries. Finally, a sense of relief coming through if you have felt stuck or held back or very lackluster or not as energized in terms of your life force as you would want to be. Emperor, again, this cardinal energy showing up, which of course you have that cardinal element that you work with, as does Aries. So it's beautiful to see this coming through. We're getting a sense of feeling back in the driver's seat, back in control. Not only that, the strategy that you're going to be setting for yourself as you start to feel into that movement of Mars going direct is going to be really powerful, because the lessons learned or the way that you were redirected or what you were invited to prioritize has ultimately served your highest good and growth. And it's perhaps only now, as you come into the sort of mid to end part of January, that you'll really start to understand what that transit was truly teaching you and trying to show and reveal to you. Now, I've put together a 2023 Vision Quest workbook. It's 70 pages. It's got 2 beautiful guided meditations with it. And it's really there to support you, Cancer, in helping to release the energy of 2022 and to align soulfully, purposefully with what you're trying to set out by way of your own visions for the year ahead. So you'll find a link in the comment in the description box underneath. There's some beautiful card spreads and rituals to work with, and some poignant, like, soul-searching journal questions that will be really illuminating for you. So we have this breath of fresh air as Mars goes direct. Even though it will be in shadow till March, there's definitely a feeling of things getting moving. Mercury then going direct on the 18th of the month. Here we have the Ace of Wands. And this sense of you committing to something. Now, I will say you're holding on very tightly here. Sometimes we need to just like loosen the grip a little bit. Otherwise, we can end up causing the resistance. And of course, that fire energy can be a bit like unwielding and a bit impulsive. So we don't want to bring about any agitation or frustration here. But at the same time, there's like a firm grip or a firm idea about the direction that you want to move in, or something that you see being initiated and you're absolutely on board with it. So pay attention as well if there's some interesting conversations or things being proposed or presented to you. Remember that 7th house is going to bring all sorts of new energies or returning energies back. And there'll be something of value held. What I want to remind you of is that, you know, through the course of the last year, you really achieved so much, in all honesty, with so little. So now that you have this hindsight, you have this awakened, accelerated growth and understanding, what are you going to be capable of? Yeah, it's going to be absolutely epic. So there's something about that Ace of Wands that I kind of get shivers, where I feel like, wow, wherever you are sending the direction of that energy. And please be aware of the significance of getting yourself into that right state of mind. You know, the state of our heart is what is wrapping around the energy as we manifest. And if you are receiving those storylines of things that are consistently bringing you down, just take a moment and realize how much fuel you're adding to the fire there. And if you actually redirected all of that energy, what it would do for you. I really want you to pay attention to that in January, because there's an awful lot of power here, and there's a lot of wisdom coming through with this energy of the Hermit showing up as well. Now, there's a stripped back quality. He's in the cave here. There's nothing else that he needs other than this surrender into his own inner being, this sacred flame, to the channeled downloads he's receiving from the divine. And there's a humbleness and a humility here. And I think if you can take that approach with yourself, it'll go a long way to be able to help you to navigate different situations. There is quite an independent feel going on here with the Fool and the Hermit, Ace of Wands coming in here. And so there might be something that you have to do alone, or that you feel you're embarking on without perhaps the support that you'd hoped, expected, or anticipated to have at this point. It's not to say that it's not going to join you. I think there are certain things that need to be put into place first and foremost by you, Cancer, seeds that need to be sown. And, you know, through the process of this, one of the important things is that you're really going to be helping other people learn how to treat you, learn how to respect you. And how the way that we do that is by treating ourselves in a better way, respecting and honouring and acknowledging. And I think that Hermit's really coming through with that important message for you through the month of January. So even if you're feeling a little bit isolated or lonely or detached from the people or the things that hold great meaning or value to you, there's something about just this transitionary sort of time that even by the sort of end of January, I feel has already started to kind of resolve itself, and you've been able to take the gift or the wisdom that's come through. Of course, also with people showing up and the Hermit, there's a likelihood that there's somebody significant by way of mentorship or guru, or somebody with the past experience, the maturity, the spiritual wisdom to pass on something really significant to you. You've got the Ten of Staffs coming in, because I think there are elements to the journey right now that feel onerous and just feel like you're never going to clear them from your feet. You know, it's like there is this sense of, I know the direction I want to go in, I'm feeling more empowered, and this sense of certainty about how this can work, and yet I still have this responsibility, this duty, this heaviness of this energy that surrounds me. When we approach the new moon in Aquarius on the 21st, the very next day, Uranus is going to go direct. Now, Uranus in Taurus teaching us about time, about love, about money, about resources, how these energetic currencies have been working for us or not, and the way in which our inner maverick, if you like, wants to revolutionize some of these things. And so you will come to some really clear conclusions about what needs to go. I always want to say, though, in regards to this energy, is that there is something of value here. You know, he's building the house. This is what it's been about. So you may feel like the sense of duty or responsibility, or that something is just too much, like you've just got too much going on. And yet sometimes we are, you know, pressed and tested. And, you know, these are seasons and cycles. And I feel like it's one final push, and then this is going to move out. And the thing we need to be reminded of is that often, you know, we will find something else to replace it by way of our feeling discontent. So if we really understand what is the value in the actual process or the journey that I'm on in regards to this right now, and you can acknowledge that and find humility in it, then it's going to feel much easier to just almost go that final step to kind of get something over the line. We need to be mindful we're not being a martyr through the process of it, but I'm not really picking that up through the process of this. I feel it's just like there's a lot on your plate, and you feel like it's not going to ever get to a place where you're going to be free and clear and be energized enough to kind of take on new things or have space in your life for something different, but you will. And I think that Uranus shifting direct is going to bring a powerful pattern interruption. Something quite surprising may come through, you know, not only with the full moon coming in your sign, but also Uranus acting. It just feels like, you know, when you plant seeds and then something ends up coming through that you hadn't anticipated. It's a different color, it's a different flower, it's something that wasn't supposed to be there. And yet there's great delight when you see it. So there's something quite unexpected in the positive that I think, regardless of what you are intending or like putting your focus towards, there's a little reward or a little extra that wants to reveal itself to you through the course of January. And I think that's important, because I think you need a little bit of reassurance and some validation. It will also help you in regards to specific tricky situation I think you've got going on with somebody. Perhaps it's just about feeling more certain and secure to take a certain course of action, knowing that you're a little bit safer to be able to do so. But you have to do it with your whole heart. Don't let your mind whisper unfounded fears this month, okay, Cancer? So we're going to go ahead and pull 3 final cards, which, if you're new to the channel, we do cover off in our extended reading, where we talk for another 25 minutes or so about the month ahead. I'm going to invite you as well just to think about a personal question right now, Cancer. We will also look at that for you in our extended version. All the decks that I use are listed in the comment section underneath, yeah? Okay, let's have a look and clarify this main spread. So we're just starting with the energy of the Fool. We have the Tower coming through here. And the Seven of Swords, interesting. Okay, Hanged Man is bringing in the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful. 9 of Pentacles, nice. 5 of Swords, Knight of Cups. High Priestess coming through here. 10 of Pentacles. What about this Hermit? Hierophant. Real lessons learned. Amazing wisdom coming in there. Okay, Ace of Swords. Got all these aces that you're getting through. I know it's the beginning of a new year, but still, Nice to see. Wow. Sometimes we really have to give ourselves permission for these new energies to enter into our life, and where we're hanging on too tightly to things that are unresolved or unfinished business, we can almost delay or stop, cause resistance. So again, the workbook will really support you identifying that and working to release it mindfully. So this is Life Soul Vision Oracle, my deck that came out last year. If you'd like to see more details, you can check that out over on my website. Just going to clarify our main spread with it. So we've got sacral energy coming in. We've got the Queen of Air. Also got throat chakra, throat energy. Soul stories. Nourish your inner wealth. Encoded footprints. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do one final Life Soul Vision card here. Oh, actually two want to come. Let's take them both. We've got Equinox, Balance, Release, and Detours from the Divine. I'm also using the Animal Oracle. We have the Bull, Sacrifice. Okay, Cancer, thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to join me for the extended so we can go deeper into this, I will see you there. Otherwise, have a wonderful beginning to the year. I appreciate you. You take good care. I'll see you again next time.